Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of my podcast, Is Breakfast Included? How are you guys doing? Man, I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing really well. Today's guest is my friend Caleb Grant. Now, I grew up with Caleb's uncle Shannon, and he was always telling me these last few years about his nephew. How good of a guitar player was, how good of a singer, yada, yada, yada. The minute I heard Caleb, I realized he had a gift. He's probably one of the most natural guitar players I've ever met. He's recently found his own voice. He went through some bumps along the way that kind of affected his trajectory, but now he's 100% in. He talks about that a little bit, and I hope when you hear him talk about it, you know, if you know anyone or you yourself is going through some shit, I hope it helps you out. Anyway, it was a great conversation. Let's check it out.
Cool. I'm ready, man.
All right, man. Well, tell everyone who you are.
All right, everybody. I'm Caleb Grant, singer, songwriter, guitarist from Corsicana, Texas. I believe we know each other through my uncle Shannon. Is how me and Bernie got to know each other. But, yeah, man, I'm excited to be on the podcast, dude. I've listened to a couple episodes. I listened to Neil Swanson last night.
Well, right on, man. Like you said, your uncle and I kind of grew up together. I still talk to him just about every day, whether I want to or not.
Yeah, he's good at sliding in the DMs.
But he's also been a huge supporter of this podcast, so...
yeah, for sure.
Shannon and I go way back, and like I said, we're more brothers than friends.
You guys worked at a record store together, right?
We did. I hired him to be my my employee back in the day. We spent countless hours making fun of the people's record purchasing.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. He's got a taste for sure, a particular taste.
Well, right on, man. Well, like you said, you're from Corsicana. When did you start playing guitar, man?
Man, I started when I was 15 years old, dude. My freshman year of high school. I had kind of fallen out of fashion with listening to music. I was just listening to a lot of radio stuff. And for whatever reason, I started listening to old Keith Urban music again. And it made me really want to pick up guitar. So me and Mom went and saw him on Valentine's Day. This would have been 2012, and it was in San Antonio where the Spurs play. And he was playing on a revolving stage. It turned in a circle real slow so he could sell out the whole arena.
Yeah.
And there was one moment in particular, he covered George Strait, You Look So Good in Love. And like 15,000 people just like completely shut the fuck up and were just like lost in this moment, dude. And it was awesome. Like he had him in a trance, and I was like, man, I have to do that one day. Maybe not at that scale, you know, because that's just crazy, you know, to sell out an arena. But I wanted to do that same thing and create that same feeling that I had gotten from listening to Keith do that with just an acoustic guitar. I thought it was amazing.
Oh, right on.
So that kind of set me on the path, dude. And then I came a Mayer disciple. You know, being 25, dude. John Mayer is like, he's the bread and butter for a lot of us at my age. But I listened to only John Mayer for like 2 or 3 years, man. And I think it was because his music was obtainable. He wasn't Whitney Houston on the vocals. He wasn't Eddie Van Halen on the guitar, and he wasn't Bob Dylan, but he was like really good at all three aspects, but he seemed human. And I was like, I can do that. You know what I mean? So I started him on John Mayer, dude, hardcore, like learning how to songwrite, learning how to play vocal melodies on the guitar and stuff like that. He just has that touch, dude. You know that every great guitar player has their own voice, you know, and they can play one note, and it just sounds better than when you or I play that same note.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going for now, you know, is trying to get into that, like, less is more approach and just be really vocal on the guitar.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So early on, when you started playing, did you start on acoustic, electric, or?
Yeah, I started on a Takamine G230 from 2003. I bought it at a pawn shop in 7 Points, Texas for $150.
That's a popular East Texas guitar right there.
yeah, it is, man. There's no telling how much meth was smoked for that guitar to end up at the pawn shop. But you know how 7 Points in Gun Barrel City are.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you started on acoustic. How long before you started writing your own stuff?
Oh man, till I got serious, man, I feel like I was writing kind of like popish songs and like just kind of cookie cutter songs, like 2 years in. And then I started to get really serious about songwriting. The older I got, the more I started to drink. When I started creating problems, I had something to actually sing about. So that's when I started getting serious about it. But I just now really feel like I'm cracking into like my full songwriting potential right now. It could be because my brain is just now fully developed at 25, but yeah, man, I started songwriting, I'd say about 2 or 3 years in, and then I started recording when I was 19. So 4 years in is when I made my first EP.
Yeah. And who were other than John Mayer, what other songwriters really inspired you in the beginning?
Oh, dude, man, there's so many. I love Sheryl Crow. Theo Katzman is a guy I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of country, man. But back then, I was listening to, a lot of Keith Urban. I was listening to more classic rock for guitar playing, and then I was listening to like Amos Lee and Ray LaMontagne. Ooh, Shannon put me on both of those guys. Jason Isbell, who you know about Jason Isbell. That was so cool when we got to meet him. We still talk about that all the time, but he was a big one. He was a huge one for sure. But yeah, those were the guys I was listening to. I was kind of mixing it up. I would listen to rock and R&B for guitar playing, and then I would listen to a lot of folk for songwriting. That movie Inside Llewyn Davis, I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac does the soundtrack. Marcus Mumford's on there. I was listening to a lot of that kind of stuff, man. And now I'm a big fan of. I listen to a lot of Nashville country now. Just for the melodic purposes, and also just the creativity. Some of the songs are really cliche, but I mean, it's just like any genre. If you dig enough, you're going to find good music. I mean, Chris Stapleton obviously is an incredible songwriter. But those are kind of the guys I'm listening to now. But I really haven't changed it up. I still listen to a lot of Amos Lee, a lot of Ray LaMontagne. Yeah, like I said, Sheryl Crow's a big one, dude. I think she's super underrated as far as being a songwriter. It sounds impossible, but I still think she's underrated. But those were my main group of people I was really honing in on, because it just felt like they were writing music that they could sing, which is something I struggled with for years. I would try to write these songs that were like way out of my range, and I'm just now starting to write songs that like, this is my song, this is how I'm going to sing it. And this is what works for me. And I've realized that my songwriting has gotten a lot better since I started writing songs like that, as opposed to trying to write songs for the radio. But yeah, man, that's who I was listening to back in the day, and kind of who I'm listening to now. Listen to a lot of Morgan Wallen. Not gonna lie, he's my guilty pleasure artist. His double album was crazy. I don't support his some of the things that he said, obviously, but I did. I was a huge fan of his double album. I'd be lying if I said that didn't have a big impact on the music I'm making right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, so you need to separate the art from the artist.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Yeah, and I think Isbell, I think Jason said it best, when he was kind of talking about it. But yeah, I'll leave that where it's at. But yeah, I love his music a lot too. Listen to a lot of Jason Aldean, actually, some old Jason Aldean I've been listening to. So weird, man, because it's not guitar player music at all. But I love some of those songs, and I think just growing up in a small town in Texas, dude, it's just kind of in my blood.
Yeah. So in the beginning, when you started writing songs, were you trying to put like every chord or every little riff and every lick in one song?
Oh my God, yes, dude. Yes, like. So much.
That's the bane of every young songwriter, right?
Yeah, I was trying to I wanted to be able to play lead guitar on an acoustic while singing and songwriting by myself at the same time, which is like impossible. And now I'm really kind of a 4 chords, 5 chords sometimes, pretty straightforward with everything, and it seems to be a lot easier. I try to focus on the content now more than the music. And there's you can go to the studio and add all that stuff, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk to you in about 6 months and you'll be a 3-chord guy.
Yeah, yeah. I know I'm getting there. I'm wearing G out right now, dude. I've got like, I wrote the EP that I'm about to put out is only 6 songs,
Yeah.
and I have like 16 songs that are in G, and I'm like having to fight myself on that and sing in different keys.
Well, I know
Capo
the few that you've sent me over the last couple of weeks are in G.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're all in G, man.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Tom Petty made a whole career in A.
Yeah, he really did. He really did, dude. Petty has so many songs in A. It's hilarious. But that's just that his voice lends itself so well to being an A, you know, and I'm kind of that way with G. I have a whole bunch of different things I can do there, but I'm trying to spice it up a little bit. You know, I wrote a song in E the other day. I was really proud of that.
So when did you first start recording?
Man, I started making iPhone demos at my house when I was in high school, but my first serious like recording opportunity when I was 19. I went to Tonal Recordings in Hazlitt. My cousin Chris Marshall, he goes by Hunter Marshall, but he works some with Carrie Underwood's band and Jake Owen's band. I think he's doing a project with Morgan Wallen's guitar player right now, but he was the guy that I first recorded with, and that would have been 2017. I want to say 2016 maybe. We worked on a little 3-song EP called the Backpack EP. It was just me and the guitar, and he's the same guy that's doing my EP right now, the full band one.
And so going in at 19, just raw, what was it like working with somebody that was so seasoned?
It was fucking terrifying, dude. It was so terrifying, man, because I mean, Chris is really, really talented. His own music is awesome. And dude, the scariest shit ever is a metronome. if you've never played to a click or a met and you're having to track acoustics, I mean, it was just fucking brutal, dude. Just watching him chop it up and put it together, you're like, man, I suck. But yeah, dude, it was terrifying, dude. And the vocals, I mean, because there's nowhere to hide. You know, you're singing through that loud ass microphone, and you're just like, oh my gosh, dude, I'm so monotone. I can't sing at all like I thought I could. It was definitely a humbling experience for sure.
Right on. You've done some work as a sideman.
Yeah, oh dude, a lot, man.
What's the difference between doing your solo stuff and just being hired to play guitar? Is there less pressure or more pressure?
Yeah, way less pressure, dude. I mean, because I've always considered myself a guitar player that sings and songwrites. I'll always be a guitar player first, you know, because I taught myself to sing after I started playing guitar. I didn't sing at all before that. So I love the guitar stuff, man. The tours, I've done stuff with Sheridan Reed, Shay Abshire, Gracie York, Hayden McBride, a couple other Red 11 guys, and they're all great. I'm still friends with all those guys. I just kind of started wanting to do my own thing, man. That's really what it was. I started writing really good songs, and I wanted to play those songs, and I thought my voice has gotten to a point now where I'm like, I can do this. And then I did the trio thing in Austin for like 3 years. You know, we were going like 6 nights a week, doing the power trio stuff, and that was fun. But yeah, doing the tours as just a guitar player is great, man, because I'm in my element there. I love doing that. I don't know if I prefer it over doing solo stuff, because I haven't really done a lot of solo stuff in the last few years, but it's easy, man. It's easy money, and all the pressure's off. If the song sucks, guess what? You didn't write it. If the vocals suck, you're not the one singing. If no one shows up to the show, it's not your fault. So yeah, I love that. It's definitely tremendously less pressure to play for somebody else. And luckily, all the people I played with have a good following, and they tend to draw crowds. So I've never had to worry about that. But yeah, man, it's 100%, no doubt, way less pressure just being a lead guitarist.
Yeah. Do you ever get hired to be a session guy on those Cats records, or?
Yeah. I played on Gracie's record. I'm playing on a couple guys' records right now. A guy named Jeremy Gravely, another young dude named Devin Michaels. He's awesome. He's 19. great songwriter, great singer. I've done a lot of session work, man, for all kinds of people, and that's at the same place at Tonal Recording in Hazlitt, which really, really improved my guitar playing, you know.
Growing up, were there other musicians around town that you could bounce things off of, or has it always been? I come from that same area, and growing up, the other guitar players in town, it was more like a competition. But I think we're in a different time now where everyone kind of just bounces ideas off. Was it like that with you, or was it more of a competition?
I have to shout out my boy Ty Skinner. Literally, his vibrato, dude, is like, it's some of the best vibrato ever. He actually sells trucks now. He should be playing guitar. But, dude, he had been playing for 6 years when I started playing, and he was already playing like Eruption and Guns N' Roses and Zeppelin and all of that stuff. And, man, I would be lying if I didn't say I wanted to fucking be better. You know what I mean? There was definitely a healthy competition between us. But I'm at the point now, I think once you turn into like a decent player and, you know, you get your own gigs and stuff like that, that kind of goes away. I think that, you know, but yeah, I'm definitely the opposite now, dude. I'm super supportive and super impressed, bro. There's so many amazing guitar players out there that are younger, like in their teens and stuff. It's just impossible not to respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So when you do your solo shows, is it more of a? I mean, you told me you like country. I know a lot of your stuff comes off like new country. But is it more of a, do you do a half and half, like more rock, lean more towards rock, but with a country feel?
Man, on the acoustic shows, I end up playing, if I'm doing any kind of cover songs, I always gravitate towards grunge.
Oh, really?
Which is super weird. Yeah, man. And I don't know if it's just from playing all those requests when I was in high school and stuff. But, dude, when I'm playing covers, I'm all over the map. I hardly play any country music covers, which is really, I know that sounds weird because you've heard my solo music.
Yeah.
But it's mostly rock, dude. And then it shows, man, my plan is I'm not really playing shows until I put this EP out in July. And my plan is to kind of make some of those guitar solos longer. The guitars are going to be heavy. I mean, you've heard the mixes on some of those demos, and it's going to be a rock show, you know, it's definitely going to be guitar driven, with kind of red dirt songs.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man, I'm really excited because I got really sterile when I was doing the trio thing because you're just real limited on what you can do. At least I am. I'm not Marcus King or Billy Strings or any of those guys. So I need a keyboard or an acoustic guitar in the mix as well.
And are you putting a full band together?
Yeah.
4 or 5 piece?
Full band. It's going to be 4-piece at first, and then eventually I'd like it to be 5-piece.
Any cats in mind that you already have?
Yeah, man, I'm going to get my old crew from Austin, dude. My old band.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and I'm not really sure when I'm going to do the solo shows, though. My buddy, John Mook, he's from Uganda. He lives down in Austin. He just signed with Easy Eye Sound, Dan Auerbach's record label from the Black Keys.
Yeah, yeah.
This label Marcus King is on, but we're supposed to tour in October with the Keys, South America and Europe. I'm going to be playing guitar for John. So I'm not sure if I'm going to start doing shows next year or if I'm going to do some this year and then go on that tour. But that's going to be my main thing when I get going is playing with John and then kind of doing my solo music on the side.
Yeah.
I've never had an opportunity to tour with someone that's on a label that big, so I'm looking forward to that. And also, man, just my sobriety. But I'm kind of focused on that right now, so I'll probably chill until the EP out.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So that way, by the time October comes, I can be ready to get on the road.
Yeah. Well, let's. Do you mind if we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I didn't hear from you for a few months, and I, normally you and I would text regularly, and then I didn't hear from you, and then I saw a post on your social media about getting out of rehab. What, if you want to talk about it, man? What led you?
Yeah,
Was
absolutely,
it
man.
Is it something that that happened young and just got out of hand, or
Dude, man, it really, I started drinking in high school, and then I didn't drink for like 2 or 3 years. When I met my girlfriend, I was smoking so much weed, I probably couldn't stay awake long enough. But it was really when I moved down to Austin and signed with my agent down there. We were playing Continental Club and Maggie Mays and Friends, and all. The alcohol was free everywhere. 5 or 6 nights a week, and you're there for 4 hours and getting out at 2. And I quickly went from a professional musician and an amateur drinker to the inverted. I was a professional drinker and an amateur cover artist by the time it was all said and done. I wrecked all my cars, lost 2 apartments. I mean, just you name it, I did it, bro. I mean, I did a number. I was a badass drinker. And, dude, I just kind of got to a point. I moved back home when I started playing with Gracie, and I lost. I'm not going to say that that's why I lost that gig, but I'm 100% certain that's why I lost that gig. And why I've lost some other gigs was definitely due to drinking, and some of them I just quit because I wasn't focused. My mind wasn't right. And I just didn't want to play music, dude. I just wanted to party.
Yeah. What was the final straw that made you make that change?
Dude, I don't know, man. I think I just hit rock bottom, man. I got a DWI in January. Got my car stuck on a pair of train tracks. Had to call the cops on myself, which is never fun. But yeah, dude, I hit bottom, and my girlfriend wanted me to go. I wanted to go. So I checked into Centacor at Waco, dude, and it was a great experience. So I'm on day 38 now, and I'm 2 weeks out of rehab today.
Right on,
as we're doing the podcast. But yeah, man, I still got a long ways to go, but just like a world of difference, especially in my playing.
Yeah.
And my vocals, my songwriting, I didn't ever notice that there was a problem. And then when I go back and listen to old stuff now or watch old videos, I'm like, oh my God, dude, what were you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought that was the way you do it, bro. That's what Keith did. That's what all my heroes did. Clapton, I mean, that's what you did. You partied hard and rocked hard, man. And I thought that was the life for me, dude. And it wasn't. Some people can do that, and it's fine. But I'm just not one of those guys, man. You know what I mean? I'm just not.
Yeah. So are you getting a lot of support from the people around you? Have you had to alienate certain people from your life?
Not really, dude. I was pretty much the problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I have great support, dude. I mean, obviously that comes, it comes with time. People are still, because I'm still so early on into my sobriety, dude, that's people are still worried, especially my parents and all of that. But they're super supportive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super supportive.
Well, you mentioned earlier, once you started living and going out and doing everything, you found material to write with.
Oh, yeah, dude.
How about now?
I started, dude, now I have so much. It's unbelievable, bro. It really is unbelievable, the amount of material, because my dad used to always tell me, we talk about Kurt Cobain or Hendrix, all these people that had died young, and it's a lot of times that greatness comes from a dark place and from bad times. And I think there was a part of me when I was in my early 20s and late teens where I was like, dude, I need to go out and make some shit to write about. I need to go create some problems and some darkness, or I'm just going to be writing happy ass cookie cutter songs all the time. And, for better or for worse, I now have plenty of stuff to write about.
Yeah.
So I am definitely grateful for that. But yeah, dude. And I'm not I've noticed, because I was writing songs in rehab, and since I got out, and I've noticed I was kind of worried that they were going to be all about getting sober and being happy, and they're not. I'm still able to dive into that place and into that headspace to just summon up the demons, to write some good stuff. But yeah, dude.
So when you went in already with the mindset, I'm going in to, for lack of a better term, clean up. I'm going in to straighten out.
Yeah, man. No, I checked myself in, and dude, because I really, Bernie, just wanted to get back to music, and that's one thing that is a hard pill to swallow for the people around me. Is I think a lot of them are worried about me going back, but I'm like, that's my happy place. You know what I mean? That's what I do best. That's what I've worked my ass off to do for 10 years now. And it's like, man, you can't focus. I stopped focusing on having longevity in a music career when I was drinking all the time. I was just doing it to get to the next show and get to the next party, and now I want to make a career out of it, and that's one of the main reasons I went, is so I could do what I love again.
Yeah.
And do it effectively.
I guess, you have two choices. You can either,
right,
but you can leave music to avoid all that, or you can continue music and fall back into it and lose music that way anyway.
Yeah, dude, and it's like,
so it's really up to you, right?
Yeah, dude, and it's no different. It's not like I'm not ever gonna see alcohol again if I don't play music. You know what I mean? Like, if I stop playing music, people are still gonna be drinking around me. There's still gonna be free alcohol all over the damn place and in the store and everywhere, and it's not any different. You know what I mean? Is the way that I look at it. But yeah, dude, and I was amazed at how many sober musicians there are that reached out to me, that are my age, that are a little bit older, a little bit younger, that are like, hey man, I struggled with this. Like Ray Wiley Hubbard reached out to me and was telling me about his sober story. His son is sober now. Me and his son are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dominating right now. They're doing great. Ray's playing the best shows that he's ever played now, and the biggest venues he's ever played.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed, dude. So, because I kind of thought, damn, I'm going to be alone in this. I'm going to be the only ripping guitar player and sad songwriter that doesn't drink. And then, like, people just started coming out of the woodwork. So we're like, hey, I'm sober too. Let me know if you need help. And they're all people that are doing great now. And they're like, man, it gets so much better. Like, I wouldn't have anything in the music industry if I hadn't quit drinking or quit doing whatever I was doing. And so that's been awesome, dude. It's been awesome, all the people that have reached out.
Well, how do you feel health-wise?
I feel great, dude. I put on about 10 pounds. I'm still freaking skinny, but I can't help it, bro. I'll go to bed at 143 pounds and wake up and be 138. It just happens. But yeah, man, I feel physically great. My appetites came back. I've been eating a lot, which, dude, when I was drinking, I would go like 2 or 3 days and I might eat once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I just didn't want to eat, it shrinks your stomach, and there's so many things that are terrible about booze, dude, that it blows my mind, after getting out of rehab, that it's legal, which I guess not everybody has a problem with it, but it's the only substance, and heroin withdrawals can't kill you, meth withdrawals can't kill you, none of that can kill you, but withdrawing from alcohol, you can actually die from. Like, that's crazy, man, and it's the only one of those things that's legal. And dude, Jason Isbell was another one of those guys, bro, that is an inspiration to me now that's sober,
Yeah.
Because I know that I don't know personally what his rock bottom was, but I know it was pretty low. And to see what he's doing now, dude, I look at guys like that, and he's a guitar player, as well. So
right on, man. Well, man, it's I'm happy for you. And I'm happy we're back in touch.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I appreciate you doing this. I know it was like you said, you're still early in your sobriety, but man, I have faith in you,
Yeah.
You
dude,
and
I'm early in the podcast game too. This is my first ever podcast that I've done, so hopefully it didn't suck.
No, man, not at all. But I do have one more question. The podcast is called Is Breakfast Included? So if it was included, Caleb, what would you have?
Oh my gosh, dude. My grandma would have to fry me up some eggs over easy. Some bacon that's not crispy. I know everybody likes crispy bacon. I like that shit chewy like gum, bro. Like, I like rare bacon. I'm gonna double dip too. I need ham with that as well. I'm going ham and bacon, the Denny's Grand Slam style, and then probably some hash browns, dude. And my grandma's toast, because I like my toast chewy, bro. I hate the concept of burning the shit out of bread for no reason. My grandma makes toast that still tastes like Miss Baird's right out of the bag, but it's toasted. It's got butter on it. I would just have my grandma cook me breakfast, dude.
All right, on, man.
That's definitely what I would do.
Well, that question has no wrong answer. So.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. This morning I ate a fucking cheeseburger for breakfast, so I'm not super picky with breakfast.
God damn, I remember those days.
Oh, dude, yeah. And I'm still skinny, bro. Still skinny.
Well, man, where can everyone find you on social media?
Man, just look up Caleb Grant Music. That's Caleb with a C. You can find some of my stuff on Spotify. I've got some stuff on YouTube, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms. And then the EP will be out, I think it's July 17th.
July 17th.
Yeah, and it'll be out everywhere. It's going to be 6 songs, full band. It's definitely the best work that I've put out. I'm excited. I know everybody says that about their new record, but I can legitimately say that because my other EP was not that good. You can ask my other 12 monthly listeners on Spotify. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to putting it out and then hitting the road in October, dude. But I'm trying to kind of find something between now and then to hold me over. So if anybody listening out there has any gigs and needs a guitar player or anything like that, holler at your boy. I'll roll through, alcohol free.
I'll definitely put the word out for you, my man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, put it out, dude.
Well, man, Caleb, it was good to talk to you again, man. I'm rooting for you, brother.
You too, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm going to have to come see you pretty soon. And when you come back down to Texas, we'll link up.
We'll do. I'll keep in touch, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate it, Bernie. Thanks for having me on, bro. I don't deserve to be on the podcast.
Yeah, you do, man. Yeah, you do. All right, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Right on. Caleb Grant. You can find him at Caleb Grant Music on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of that stuff. It was really good catching up with Caleb. When I met him a few years ago, I wasn't aware because when I was around him, we were always talking music and so forth, but I'm glad he's on the right path. He's writing some amazing music, and I can't wait to hear it. So check him out. Check out his old stuff, and if not, you want to wait till this new stuff comes out, check it out then. All right, guys. I am done. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next week.